Thiruchitrambalam. கற்பனை கிடந்த ஜோதி கருணையே உருவமாகி அற்புத கோலம் நீடி அருமறை சிரத்தின் மேலாம் சிற்பர வியோமமாகும் திருச்சிற்றம்பலத்துள் நின்று பொற்புடன் நடம் செய்கின்ற பூங்கடல் போற்றி போற்றி. கருணை பொழி திருமுகத்தில் திருநீற்று முதலும் கண்டாரை வசப்படுத்த கனிந்த வாயழகும் பெருமை தருதுறவோடு பொறையுளத்தில் பொறுத்தே திங்ககனார் மலத்தாள்கள் பிரியாத மனமும் மறுவினர்கள் அகலாத ஞானமே வடிவாம் வளத்துறை செய் சிவஞான மாமுனிவன் மலர்த்தாள் ஒரு பொழுதும் நீங்காமல் எமதுளத்தில் சிரத்தில் ஓதிடும் நாவினில் என்றும் உண்ணி வைத்தே உரைப்பான். தில்லைவாழ் அந்தனரே முதலாக சீர்படைத்த தொல்லையதாம் திருத்தொண்ட தொகையடியார் பதம் போற்றி கொல்லையவர் புராணகதை உலகறிய விரித்துரைத்த செல்வமணி குன்றத்தூர் சேக்கிழார் அடி போற்றி. My sincere prayers are with Lord Shaivam, Srila Sri Gumaha Sannidhanangal of Thiruvavudure Adinam, Madhav Shivanyana Yogigal, and my Guruji Saltandul Swamigal. Good evening to Mr. Raja, Mr. Ganesh of Shaivam.org, all the listeners. In our overview of the Thirumurai series, introduction to the 12th Thirumurai, we have come to the last episode which speaks about the 12th Thirumurai. In our last meeting, we had an opportunity to speak about the 11th Thirumurai, which consists of 40 books. And the total 12 Thirumurais have been compiled by 27 authors. Now we have come to the last part, which is the 12th Thirumurai, which is done by Sheklar Swamigal. Nambiyandar Nambigal has compiled the first 11 Thirumurais, and on the request from the king, some of his works were also added into the 11th Thirumurai. With that, he has concluded the 11th Thirumurais. Later, the 12th century, Sheklar Swamigal wrote Periyapuranam or Thiruchitrambalam. This is the 12th Thirumurai which is added. This we should know about Sheklar Swamigal. He was a minister under Anabaya Cholan, that was a king. And the history says this way: Anabaya Cholan was showing interest to listen to the literatures and philosophies of some religions. And the poets in his courtyard, they were actually teaching him Sivashanmugam, a book primarily done by the Jainis. The king was so interested in listening to that. Sheklar Swamigal, earlier his name is actually the parents have given him the name as Arulmozhi. This Arulmozhi, who was working as a minister, or Sheklar was working as a minister with the king, he felt whatever king is doing today, listening to the stories and the philosophies, which can be so interested to listen, and that doesn't give great impact after our life. So, being a minister, he had the privilege to speak with the king that whatever now you listen, all for the body, and it may be effectful as long as you will live in this world. There are some other history which you ought to know, which is for the soul, and they are highly valuable. So the king was really impressed when the minister said to him like this: He was so impressed, happy, and even he requested the minister, why not you make a book out of it? So that it's not only me, the people who come later, they will also have the opportunity to go through. See the king's mercy. So Seklar Swamigal came to Chidambaram temple, worshipped Lord Nataraja, and he was praying that I have been assigned this job by king. I wish to do with all your blessings. There was a voice from heaven, we call in Tamil as Asariri, which means the voice will be heard, but the people will not be seen. It is coming from the heaven. Ulagalam, that's the sound he has given, which everyone there were able to hear it. It is not just the Seklar Swami. So that is the word Lord Shaivam has initiated this book with that word. Seklar Swami, with all respect, prayed Lord Nataraja and started this book as Ulagalam Unandu Odat Karyavan. Nilavulaviya Nirmali Veniyan. Alagil Sodiyan Ambalattaduvan Malarselambadi Valti Mananguvam. This is how he started. From where he started, that's quite interesting. Sundaramurti Swamigal, the author of 7th Thirumurai, we were seeing some 2-3 weeks back. He has done a work called Thiruchitrambalam, which speaks about the devotees who modeled themselves as servants to Lord Shiva with a lot of love. In Tamil, we call them as Adiyargal. So he has made a book called Thiruchitrambalam. Again, there too, Lord Shivaperuman gave the first line as Thillai Vaal Andanardam Adiyarkum. So this Thiruchitrambalam was the prime document for Seklar Swamigal to start this work. It speaks about 63 devotees, individual devotees. 9 as a group of devotees. Group means he speaks about somebody who were born in this place. They are all blessed. Who are being blessed even this out of country or wherever they are blessed. Like that he speaks about around 9 people. So which means 63 plus 9 becomes 72. That's how it is being done. This book has been done. So in this Thiruchitrambalam, Sundaramurti Swamigal was actually praying all these people. That is how it started with. Thillai Vaal Andanardam Adiyarkum Adiyen, Tirneelakandathu Kuyavanarkum Adiyen, Illaye Ennada Yerpagaikum Adiyen, Ilayandan Kudimaran Adiyarkum Adiyen. Like that, he speaks about 63 people, like Thirunjana Sambandar, Thirunavukarasar, Kannappar, Appudiyadigal, Thiruthondanayana. Like that, he speaks about 63 individuals. And 9 people who are in general as Thiruvarur Pirandar, he says, which means those who are all born in Thiruvarur, I worship them. Chittattai Sivanbale Vaita, those who have kept Lord Shivaperuman in their heart, I worship them. Like that, 9 people, they are called Appalu Madicharndar, Chittattai Sivanbale Vaita, Thiruvarur Pirandar, Thillai Vaal Andanardam, Bhattarai Panivar, Paramanaye Paduvar, Poyyadimai Illada Pulavar, Muppodum Thirumeni Thenduvar, Muluneeru Pusiya Munivar. Like this is 9. So 63 as an individual and 9 as a group, so it's around 72. He has actually made a structure. Sundaramurti Swamigal was worshipping everyone, and even he says, these devotees who worship these people, I worship them. Like that he speaks. These are all the people who have shown immense love on Lord Shaivam, and they more or less worked as a slave to them. This is how. And they are taken care by Lord Shaivam. To that extent, they are blessed. They have been given place in Kailash with him to sit. Like that, so many. So Seklar Swamigal took this as a prime document. And later, the 11th Thirumurai, in some of his works are found, we told, Nambiyandar Nambigal. He has made a book called Thiruchitrambalam, which means whatever Sundaramurti Swamigal has done, I will come with a one-line statement. Thillaival Andanardam Adiyarkum Adiya. Thirunilakhandathu Koyavanarku Adiya. And devotee called Thirunilakhandathu Koyavanar. I worship him. That's it. Illaye ennada yerpagaikkumadi. I worship yerpagena. Like that he speaks. Thiruchitrambalam, a book called, written by Nambiyandar, has given some more inputs. Little bit more, so every devotee, he is actually worshipping them with a poem for that. In some cases, even 2 poems on an individual. So it gives a little bit more information, inputs about all what Sundaramurti Swamigal has formed. So which means Seklar Swamigal is taking that book also for his help. So the prime document is being Thiruchitrambalam by Sundaramurti Swamigal, and ably supported by Thiruchitrambalam, which is done by Nambiyandar. These 2 books he has taken, and he is forming this great work. There he has given about these 72 years and single line statements. Here it should maybe 1 or 2 songs about that. Having such data behind, Seklar Swamigal, I believe, has traveled a lot. He has collected a lot of information, which is something we could not even believe. That much in-depth information got. And he has sung 4,286 poems. Today the books are available, 4,286 poems. Some senior professors feel 4,253 is done by Seklar. Another 33, maybe in the later stages, somehow it has got in. So let us have it as 4253, whatever it is. This 4253 or 486, roughly more than 4,200 songs are done by Seklar Swamigal. With the 13 parts, they call it as a sartham. So part as 13 parts. So this book, Periyapuranam, normally being called as today, but it is named as Thiruchitrambalam by Seklar Swamigal, the author. So this book, having 13 parts, totally runs through 4,286 songs. It speaks about the history. It is not just the story. It is a history of all these devotees who have been sung by Sundaramurti Swami. He speaks about their place of birth, about their parents, the state where they live, what was the special love, how they were showing on Lord Shaivam. Not only on Shaivam, on his devotees, how these people were respectful, how they have contributed for this, and the sincere devotion on Lord Shaivam and his devotees, how these people have experienced in their life, and at last, how they have been blessed by Lord Shaivam. In many cases, Shaivam with Goddess Parvati came to this world and they gave their darshan and blessed them. And in many cases, these devotees have been taken along with them to Kailash. That's how it is being told. So this complete life history is being told in Tamil. Many literature books are there. Saiva literatures are too many. Same way Vaishnava literature. So Tamil as a language is enriched by a lot of literature, a very strong asset behind. And Shaiva literature, these authors have contributed a lot actually. What we are studying now is 12 Thirumurai. There are 14 Shastras. There are some Puranas. Even before some books have been written, even now later, after this Thirumurai's compilation, also books have come. So many literatures are there for Tamil. Out of which there are some Puranas. Puranas means the old stories they call. In general, in the Shaiva religion, believes or takes into account as 18 Puranas as their base one. Let us take in Tamil, many Puranas have come. And they also have a Tala Purana, which means speaks about that place. If it is Tillai, it speaks about a Koil Puranam, it speaks about Pavanasam is a temple there. So Pavanasa Tala Puranam, which speaks about that place, the temple, the god, and what were there in earlier days, how it has been formed, and what is the speciality of the place. Thousands and thousands of songs have been sung on as this Talapurana. Perungavinger Meenakshi Sundaram Pillai, who belonged to the Thiruvadurai Adina. He has done a lot. So, of all these Puranas, 3 Puranas generally Shaivites keep upfront on taking it with a lot of respect. One is actually this Periyapuranam, what we are speaking with Shaivam. One is Thiruchitrambalam, done by Paranjoti. One is Kandapuranam, done by Kachepa Sivacharya. So we generally the people say like this: Periyapuranam is the right eye of Sivaperuman. Thiruchitrambalam is the left eye. Kandapuranam is about the eye which is on the forehead of Lord Shivaperuman. We call it as metric. So these 3 eyes of Sivaperuman are these 3 Puranas. This much respect they give. So out of this, the right eye is Sekla Swami's work of Periyapuranam. It starts with Valahalam. It praises Lord Shivaperuman's dance. ஊனடைந்த உடம்பின் பிறவியே தானடைந்த உறுதியை சாருமால் தேனடைந்த மலர்பொழில் தெல்லையுள் மாநடம் செய் வரதர் பொற்றாள் போல. Manadam means the great dance done by Lord Shivaperuman. The birth what we have got here today, let us worship his dance at Thiruchitrambalam and get rid of this birth. He says, தான் அடைந்த உறுதியை சாருமான். Here the urudi, the conviction is actually getting into moksha, which means not coming to this world again. So let us take the opportunity of getting this birth to worship in such a way that we will not have one more chance of coming here. Because Lord Shivaperuman's dance is to be seen. It is the ultimate eternal end for the soul. That's it, he says, Manadam Sai Varadar Pottal. And also, the name Periyapuranam got existent, even though he has named it as Thiruchitrambalam. He is actually praising Lord Ganesha with the song. எடுக்கும் மாக்கதை என் தமிழ் செய்யுளாய் நடக்கும் மேன்மை நமக்கு அருள் செய்திட தடக்கை 5 தாழ் செவி நீள்முடி கடக்களிற்றை கருத்துள் இருத்துவார். So தடக்கை 5 is having 5 hands, he says, which means 4, this one, apart from the trunk as an elephant faced. So 5 தடக்கை, which means hands, 5 5 தாழ் செவி, actually ear, which is and Nil Mudi Kadakalitrai, which means the elephant faced God. Let us worship. There he starts with Yedikum Ma Kadai. Ma means bigger one, Kadai is a story. So Yedikum means what I am going to speak about here. Tekla says Yedikum Ma Kadai. This bigger story. Bigger means in terms of price, it's big. It's not just the one. So he says, Edukkum Makkadai means what I am going to speak, what I have taken it for discussion now. Let it get completed by Lord Ganesha's blessing. In another meaning, they say Edukkum means these takes the souls out of birth. So it is taking out of birth. So Edukkum Makkadai. This book, when studied with the devotion, it takes away our births anymore. So we will be blessed in moksha. That's the effect of this book. So that way it means Edukkum Makkadai. So Makkadai means actually Ma means big. Big story. So that's how it's called as Periyapuranam. Ma means Periyapuranam. Kadai means Puranam. So which means Edukkum Makkadai means it's Periyapuranam. That's how the name is established as Periyapuranam. Even though in his book, on the 10th song itself, he says, இங்கிதன் நாமம் கூறின் இவ்வுலகத்து தங்கிருள் இரண்டில் மாக்கள் சிந்தையுள் சார்ந்து நின்ற பொங்கிய இருளை ஏனை புறையிருள் போக்குகின்ற செங்கதிரவன் போல் நீக்கும் திருத்தொண்டர் புராணம் என்பாம். திருத்தொண்டர் புராணம். That's what it is. Tondar means the servant. Servant for Lord Shaivam who works with a lot of love on him. So Thiruchitrambalam is a holy Thiruchitrambalam Puranam, their stories, their history. That is their meant. So Thiruchitrambalam Puranam or Periyapuranam, this is how it is called. He starts the book with, we call it as normally Pairam, which gives an introduction. Then he speaks about Thirumai Chirappur, which is about the Mount Kailash, where Lord Shaivam sits. So he speaks about the greatness of Mount Kailash, Thirumai Chirappur. Then he speaks about the greatness of the Chola country. He says as a Thirunattichirappur, which speaks about the Chola country. There he speaks about Manunidi Cholan, who lived some years, some centuries back, who was a strong Saivite, who was maintaining the law and order situations in such a way. There used to be a bell in front of his courtyard. If somebody comes and rings that bell, king himself will be attending to their needs. He was ruling in such a way. There was no opportunity for the bell to get rung. Nobody has done that. Which means everyone, every soul, every living being is being taken care of. Please note the word, every living being, not only I'm not saying about the human. Every living being is being taken care of by him in such a way. The bell did not ring even once. One day it got, actually, it was ringing. They came and saw, no, a cow is actually pulling the string. So, what a shock for him. And he could immediately, with his team of people, he would understand actually the junior of the cow has been run over by his car. Whose car? Actually, the prince's car, which means Manunidi Chola's son. While coming out in his car, actually there we call it as done. The car. It has run over that smaller one. Losing her junior. This cow was in tears and asking for justice. No, with everyone trying to give different explanations. And it was not the mistake of that, because it has come and fallen in the back wheel, which was not in sight. So many explanations were given to king that it is not the mistake of. king felt. See, whatever explanations you give, who will give actually the justice to the cow which has lost? So, the sorrowfulness, the experience what that cow feels now, it should be the same for the parent of that princess. So he took a call that is the princess, his own son, only one son who was about to take the kingdom after him. He actually ran over him with his car, and that is the justice level he was maintaining. Even now, today we say, Menmegul Saivanidi Vilanguga Ulagamallam. This is what Kandapuranam says. The supreme justice of Saivism, let it get spread all over the world. That will say, this is how the kings are ruled. Shaivam blessed him with that cow, his son, and in the process, the minister who was instructed to punish, he lost his life, not ready to do. So himself, all the three, his son, the minister, and all have been brought back by Lord Shaivam. He showed this is how that country was working on. That he speaks about that he says as a Thiruchitrambalam, which means Chola's kingdom. Then he speaks about Thiruchitrambalam, the city. He speaks about Thiruvarur. Thiruvarur's greatness is being spread. He says even the birds actually sing Thirumurai. What we are speaking about the Thirumurai today, now this 12th Thirumurai, birds will sing. And birds are listening, he says. It's not only the birds singing, it's the birds are listening also. That's the speciality of this Thiruvarur. That's how he speaks about Ullammar Urhadavar Urvidai Vallalar Thiruvarur Maringalam Tellum Osai Tirupadigangal Paingillai Paduva Ketpana Puvagel. The entire city of Thiruvarur, he says, we will be in a position to listen. Actually, Thirumurai is being sung. Thiruvarur Maringalam, which means entire throughout the city of Thiruvarur. Tellum Osai Tirupadigangal, Jnanasambandha Stevaram, Upper Stevaram, Sundara Stevaram, Thiruvaskam. Like this, all these Thirumurais, we are able to listen to that. And who is singing there? Paingillai Paduva. Parrots are singing. Some birds, they are listening. That's how the greatness of Thiruvarur is. Nagaracharapu. Then he speaks about, after this, Thiruchitrambalam. Thiruchitram means actually the association of devotees. Thiruchitram. Chitram means actually mass of the crowd. What crowd? It is all devotees of Lord Shaivam. They have their own speciality about them. So he speaks about their greatness. Lot of around 11 songs he speaks about what are all the speciality of them. And he says in such a way that I am not competent enough to speak about them. He says, Aram Gandigai, Adayum Kandaye, Param Isan Banialadundilar, Eer Anbinar, Yadum Kurevilar, Viram Yenal Vilambum Tahayavo. Aram Gandigai, whatever the chain they will say, it's all Udraksha. Adayum Kandaye, just they speak with a small piece of fabric, just covering the body. Param Isan Manian brother, whatever, what is their profession? Working only for Lord Shaivam. That's it. They are so loveful to everyone, so kind-hearted. They have the mercy to every living being. So Yadum Kuraivilar, they are blessed with everything. They have nothing to feel about. Veeraminna, which means such a devotee. I am not competent enough to speak about them, about their qualities. Can I speak about their greatness? Which means it's understood that it is impossible. Like that, he starts with the Thiruchitrambalam, how it came up. Thiruchitrambalam, so he speaks about, and the greatness, the speciality of this Purana or the epic is it starts from Kailash and it ends with Kailash. And the hero of this book is not Lord Shaivam, his devotee, Sundaramurti Swami, the seventh Thirumurai Sadhana. So he is the hero. They complete his life history is being told with the way in which, as an epic, the Purana, he has taken the other devotees also and explaining them. Finally, he speaks. என்றும் இன்பம் பெருகும் இயல்பினால் ஒன்று காதலித்து உள்ளமும் ஒன்றிட மன்றுளார் அடியார் அவர் வான்புகள் நின்றது எங்கும் நிலவி உலகலாம். Let the devotees' speciality, their greatness is, let it get spread all over the world. That's how these souls are to worship. That's how these souls can come out of the birth. That's how he says with this. The 12th Thirumurai and small introduction, let me complete. So overall, for the last 13 weeks, Saturday, Sundays, I had a great opportunity of meeting you all with an introduction, an overview to these Thirumurais. So thanks to the Shaivam.org team founder, Mr. Ganesh, as well as person who coordinated with me so nicely, Mr. Raja, and all the listeners. So the listeners can contact me at any time and Sivashanmugam with the mobile number 88-707-91522. See you all with another program shortly. Till then, goodbye. Thiruchitrambalam.